A £230 car and a 1200-mile trip to France. How's this one going to pan out? So I can hear you saying, why the Rover 600? Well, for a start, they're dirt cheap, and this is a diesel and it's really economical, so it's dirt cheap to run as well. But mostly what draws me to this car is the styling. I mean, is that not an attractive car? I think Richard Woolley at Rover did a fantastic job, because there's a lot of sheet metal shared with the Honda Accord on which it's based. So we could really only meddle with the front end panels and the back end panels. Yet he's somehow created a car which looks really classy. Just very attractive, it's very clean. I really like it. I think it's far more attractive than the Rover 75. And I'm sure that comment will attract me hate mail. Let's have a look inside. Inside's quite nice too, and if you look closely you'll see genuine French breadcrumbs still in here. But look at that, we got a nice bit of wood on the dash, nice concise easy to read dials. There's my favourite of features, got a mist function for the windscreen wipers. That means a flick wipe effectively. Not all cars have it. Citroen BX's never had it, always annoyed me. Downside, no sunroof, but there was air conditioning, sort of. You see, when I got the car, the fan blower motor didn't work, and therefore I had to assume that the air conditioning didn't work. So I stripped out the fan motor, I cleaned it up a bit, managed to get it spinning just about, and was then able to confirm the air conditioning's not working. Local garage had a look, found a ruptured pipe, and I managed to get the pipe replaced. It wasn't a genuine one, it was one that had been remade with the ends crimped on, and first time we tried it, it blew the pipe off. This was the day before we were due to leave, so I left it with them overnight. They got the hose remade again, but much better crimping, and we fitted it on the morning, or rather they fitted it on the morning, and it all worked. Brilliant. I actually had cold air coming out these vents. Cold. And on the M4 it worked really well. We were driving along, I was turning the aircon on and off because frankly it was too cold. It was beautiful, and that means you can have the windows up, it means you can have the stereo on, you can hear it, it's all good. Until we got to the M25, when it was notable that the fan motor was getting slower and slower, and eventually it stopped entirely just as we hit traffic. Brilliant! We're over 250 miles into our road trip in the Rover of Dreams, currently stocking up on pre-road trip snacks. There is a slight issue, the heater fan has been playing up, so I've got the aircon fixed literally on the morning that we set off. But now, takes an awfully long time to get itself up to speed and smells disgusting. So I think we'll have to live without the now working air conditioning. How frustrating. So it was back to open windows and lots of noise. But we managed to get down to the channel, drive through a train, which is always good fun. And then we got to Calais and hoofed it down to Normandy, where my father-in-law lives. So at my father-in-law's we pulled the motor out again, and I gave it a quick run as it was, and it was really lumpy and clearly not very happy at spinning. So we took the back off, we cleaned out the commutator, as you can see in this picture, really quite badly worn. So that was our problem. Basically it's worn out, but my father-in-law is a confident man, so we got a bottle of meths, we cleaned everything up as best we could, reassembled it, put a little bit of machine oil on the nose bearing, and then I plugged it in to try again, and now it span like this. Which I think you'll concede is an awful lot better. So then I put it back in. Beautiful working air conditioning again. Oh, happy days. Until the day we were due to drive home, when it was over 30 degrees and now the air conditioning was no longer cold, and I've no idea why that is. I don't know what the problem is, which is quite annoying. Bad times. We had to drive with the windows down. It was very noisy. We got to Calais, had to queue in really hot conditions, and even when we got on the train we were still stupidly hot. Absolutely sweltering. Thanks to the aircon packing up, it's a bit warm in here even though we're in the train now, which is bouncing around all over the place. And we were quite warm for most of the drive home as well. Fortunately, the weather got cooler as we approached Wales, so we got back to Wales and in relative comfort by the time we got back. Otherwise, the trip was pretty boring and involved an awful lot of this. So if it's excitement you're after, then you probably need to go and seek those roadkill boys out. I just got in a cheap car and drove it and it worked. And I really like it as well. I will concede there are some rather annoying faults. Take these seats for instance. The stylish half-leather TI spec seats, this being a late Rover 600, they tried to bling them up a bit. And, well, they're a bit firm. And that's allied with really firm suspension, not helped by 55 profile tyres. So the ride is not what you call brilliant. So around towns, especially cobbled city centres in France, horrible, absolutely horrible. But French autoroutes, very well maintained, so you don't notice. You know, I must concede I had a little backache after driving this car over 500 miles in a day, but that's quite easily solved by not driving this car 500 miles in a day. So there you go, thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and one of the videos coming up will be a more detailed look at my lovely new Rover. You can also visit my website hubnut.org, where I witter on about all kinds of car things. Thank you for watching, I'll see you again. Ta-ta.